Hello students, how are you all? I hope you all are doing very well. So I'm your digital science mentor and today we are going to start our new chapter, chapter number 8, that is cell structure and function. You have already studied that all living things carry out certain basic functions. All living things are made up of cells. The cell is a basic structural unit of all living organisms. You can compare cells to the bricks of a wall. Just as bricks join to make a wall, cells are assembled to form an organism. So, जैसे कि हमें पता है कि सेल जो है वो एक लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म का बेसिक स्ट्रक्चरल यूनिट है. ओके एंड जिस तरीके से ब्रिक एक वॉल को जोड़ने काम करती है, राइट? एक एक ब्रिक को जोड़कर वॉल क्रिएट होती है. एज इट इज सेम इन द केस ऑफ लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म, जो सेल है वो बेसिक स्ट्रक्चरल यूनिट है और सेल के थ्रू ही एक लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म क्रिएट होता है. Next, let's see discovery of the cell. Robert Hooke was the first person who observed the cells under a crude microscope in 1665. The simplest microscope is a magnifying glass. He observed a cut slice of the cork under a microscope. He saw that cork is made up of tiny comb-like compartments arranged and one on top of the other. He called these compartments as cells. Hooke had actually observed dead cells. Here you can see some picture. The first picture shows microscope. Next is a cell of a cork as observed by Robert Hooke. Next you can see the picture of Robert Hooke. It was later, more than 150 years, with the development of improved microscope that scientists discovered that all living things are made up of cells. Now let's see the next topic, that the cell. Cell is a basic structural unit, though living organisms differ in their size, shape, color and structure, but they show a similarity. They are all made of cells. It is a complex living structure. So हमें जैसे कि पता है जो सेल होता है वो बेसिक स्ट्रक्चरल यूनिट होता है. स्टिल जो भी ह्यूमन बीइंग्स और जो भी लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स है वो साइज में, कलर में या फिर स्ट्रेंथ में भले कैसे भी अलग हो, बट उन सबकी जो बेसिक स्ट्रक्चरल यूनिट है वो सेल ही है. नाउ लेट्स सी वेरिएशन इन साइज. Some cells are microscopic and cannot be even seen with the naked eye. The cell size may vary from a millionth of a meter to a few centimeters. The largest cell is the egg of an ostrich, which is 1.7 centimeter in diameter. The hen egg is also a cell. There is no relationship between the cell size and organism size. However, most of the cells are microscopic in nature and cannot be seen with the naked eye. They need to be seen under a microscope. The smallest cell is that of a bacteria, which is 0.2 to 0.5 micrometer, that is a millionth of a meter. The size of a cell is related to its function. The nerve cells are the longest, that is more than a meter long. जैसे कि हमें पता है कि कई माइक्रोस्कोपिक सेल्स ऐसे होते हैं जो कि नेक्ड आई से नहीं देखे जा सकते, बट इनका साइज भी वेरी करता है अलग अलग लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म का. जैसे कि एक ऑस्ट्रिच का सेल 1.7 सेंटीमीटर डायमीटर का होता है, तो उन्हें हम नेक्ड आई से भी देख सकते हैं. वही जो हेंस का एग होता है वो भी एक सेल ही होता है और यहाँ पे कोई रिलेशनशिप नहीं है सेल साइज और ऑर्गेनिज्म साइज के बीच में. हर ऑर्गेनिज्म का सेल साइज डिफर हो सकता है. सो नाउ लेट्स सी द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक, दैट इज variation in number. Some organisms consist of only one cell. The single-celled organisms are called unicellular. Example of unicellular organisms are amoeba, paramecium, alugina, and bacterium. In a unicellular organism, the single cell performs all the necessary functions like feeding, digestion of food, respiration, excretion, movement, and reproduction. So here you can see the picture of amoeba and paramecium. There are some organisms consist from a few cells to billion cells. These organisms are called multicellular. Most plants and animals are multicellular organisms. Human bodies have trillion of cells, that is thousands, billions. The smaller number of cells in smaller organisms do not affect the functioning of the organisms. In fact, all organisms begin life with a single cell called fertilized egg. The fertilized egg multiples and the number of cells increase with डेवलपमेंट. सो जैसे कि हमने देखा वेरिएशन इन नंबर में क्या है कि जिनके पास सिर्फ सिंगल सेल होते हैं उन्हें हम यूनिसेलुलर बोलते हैं, और जिन लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म में बहुत सारे सेल्स पाए जाते हैं, मोर देन वन सेल, दैट इज कॉल्ड मल्टी सेलुलर. सिंगल सेल के एग्जांपल है अमीबा एंड पैरामीशियम, एंड मल्टी सेलुलर में हम हमारी ह्यूमन बींग्स को भी ले सकते हैं. So now let's see the next topic, that is variation in shape. So different cells have different shapes. They can be rectangular, polygonal, oval, round, spherical, or elongated. Some cells are pointed at both ends. Some cells like nerve cells are branched. Now amoeba is irregular in shape. It has no shape. Unlike other organisms, it can keep changing its shapes due to formation of pseudopodia, which helps in movement and capturing of food. White blood cells in blood of human beings are simple cells which can change their shape. So here you can see the spherical red blood cell and spindle shaped muscle cell, and next is your long branched nerve cell. So the cell membrane provides shape to the cells in plants and animals. The different shapes of the cells are related to their specific functions. The cell membrane provides shapes to the cell in plants and animals. The different shapes of the cells are related to their specific functions. The nerve cell is branched as it receives and transmits messages, thereby helping to control and coordinate the working of different parts of the body. So जैसे कि आपने अभी समझा, जो cells होती हैं वो different shapes में हो सकते हैं, कुछ elongated भी होती हैं, right? जो cell membrane होते हैं वो क्या होते हैं, वो अलग-अलग shapes के होते हैं plant and animals के. Different shapes of the cells are related to their specific functions. जो nerve cell होती है वो एक branch होती है, okay, जिसमें हम क्या करते हैं, वो message को receive करती है और transmit करती है. Now let's see the next topic, that is cell structure and function. You have already studied in the previous class that each organ in the digestive system performs different functions. Same is the case in plants also. Each organ is made up of smaller parts called tissue. A tissue is a group of cells performing similar functions. Thus, we see that a cell is the basic structural unit irrespective of various in size and shape. Each cell has definite structure. जैसे कि हमें पता है कि जो टिश्यू होता है वो ग्रुप ऑफ सेल्स होता है, राइट? और वो क्या करता है, सिमिलर फंक्शंस को ही परफॉर्म कर रहा होता है. नाउ लेट्स सी द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक, दैट इज पार्ट्स ऑफ अ सेल. ऑल सेल्स हैव three main parts called cell membrane, cytoplasm, and nucleus. So now let's see the first, that is cell membrane. It is the outer covering of the cell. The cytoplasm and the nucleus are enclosed within the cell membrane. जो cell membrane के अंदर होता है, ध्यान रखिएगा, cytoplasm and nucleus. It is semi-separable in nature, that is, selected materials can enter or leave the cell. Cell membrane is also known as plasma membrane. It separates the cell from one another and also the cells from the surrounding medium. It provides the protection to the internal cell organelles besides providing shape and rigidity to the cells. In the onion, cell membrane is covered by a thick covering called cell wall. This is present in all plant cells and bacteria. The cell was made of cellulose. This provides protection to the plants against variation in temperature, high wind speed, atmospheric moisture. Plants need more protection compared to animal cells. They cannot move. जैसे कि आपने अनियन तो देखा ही होगा. अनियन में सेल मेम्ब्रेन होता है जो कि क्या करता है, एक तरीके से कवरिंग होती है जो कि सेल वॉल होती है, जो ये प्लांट्स में प्रेजेंट होता है और बैक्टीरिया में भी प्रेजेंट होता है. ये इनको हेल्प करता है हमारे भी जो एनवायरनमेंट में जो भी टेम्परेचर, विंड स्पीड, जितने भी चेंजेस होते हैं इनसे बचने के लिए. एंड अमेजिंग फैक्ट ये है कि बैक्टीरिया सेल को हम सेल वॉल भी कहते हैं. सो नाउ लेट्स सी द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक, दैट इज साइटोप्लाज्म. इट इज अ थिक जेली लाइक फ्लूइड प्रेजेंट बिटवीन द सेल मेम्ब्रेन एंड द न्यूक्लियस. जो साइटोप्लाज्म होता है ये एक तरीके का फ्लूइड होता है जो कि सेल मेम्ब्रेन और न्यूक्लियस में प्रेजेंट होता है. All life functions take place in the cytoplasm. A number of components called cell organelles are present in the cytoplasm. Mitochondria, Golgi bodies, ribosomes are some of them. So now let's see the next topic, that is nucleus. It is the most common component of the cell, being considered its brain. It is a small spherical or oval shaped body floating within the cytoplasm and located in the center of the सेल. जो न्यूक्लियस होता है वो काफी इंपॉर्टेंट कंपोनेंट होता है एक सेल का, और ये हमेशा सेल के सेंटर में पाया जाता है. द न्यूक्लियर मेम्ब्रेन लाइक द सेल मेम्ब्रेन इज आल्सो पोरस and allows a movement of materials between the cytoplasm and the inside of the nucleus. The fluid present inside the nucleus is a small spherical body called nucleus, which can be seen with a microscopic of higher magnification. Besides thread-like structure called chromosomes are also present in the nucleoplasm. So आप देख सकते हैं कितनी सारी चीजें एक न्यू सेल के अंदर प्रेजेंट होती हैं. न्यूक्लियस, न्यूक्लियोप्लाज्म, राइट. एंड न्यूक्लियोप्लाज्म एक लिक्विड फ्लूइड होता है, राइट. दे कैरी जीन्स विद इनहेरिटेंस और transfer of characters from parents to the offspring. Nucleus consists of, that is, four main parts, that is nuclear membrane, nucleoplasm, nucleus and chromosome. Nucleus plays important role in cell division, transmission of hereditary characters from generation to generation, controlling all the life functions taking place in the cell. जैसे कि आप अब तक समझ ही चुके होंगे, न्यूक्लियस जो है वो सेल के अंदर पाया जाता है और काफी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट होता है. न्यूक्लियस के अंदर क्रोमोसोम्स भी पाए जाते हैं जो पेरेंट से ऑफस्प्रिंग में पास होते हैं. Now, the entire content of a living cell is known as protoplasm. It is called the living substance of the cell and includes the cytoplasm and the nucleus. While looking at the onion cell, you must have seen a blank-looking structure in the cytoplasm called a vacuole. It is a single big in size. In cheek cells, you must have seen similar vacuoles. Small colored bodies seen in the cytoplasm of the leaf are called plastids. They are of different colors depending on the pigment color. They are, first is a chloroplast, green in color as they contain chlorophyll. Next is a chromoplast, are colored plastid, that is of color red and yellow. They give color to fruit and flowers. Next is a leucoplast, are colorless. They help in the storage of food. So these are some colored bodies which found in the cytoplasm of the leaf of the cells. So now let's see the next topic, that is comparison of plant and animal cells. So now let's see the next topic, that is comparison of plant and animal cells. Although plants and animal cells have the same basic structures, there are certain differences between them. So here you can see the picture of plant cell and the next is your animal cell. So now let's see the difference. Here you can also see the table. Now let's read it. First is our cell wall present in plant cell, and in the case of animal cell wall absent. Next point, cell membrane present in plant cell and cell membrane present in animal cell. Next is a central vacuole present, and in the case of animal cell, large number of vacuoles smaller its size are present. Next is your plastids are usually present in plants and plastid are absent in animals. Lysosomes are absent in plants and lysosomes are present in animals. Centrosomes are present in plants and centrosomes are also present in animals. So now let's see the next topic, that is prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Cells which do not contain a well-defined nucleus or a nuclear membrane are called prokaryotic cells. तो आप अब तक समझ चुके होंगे जिस सेल के अंदर वेल डिफाइंड न्यूक्लियस प्रेजेंट नहीं होता और या फिर आप ऐसे कह सकते हैं न्यूक्लियर मेम्ब्रेन प्रेजेंट नहीं होता, दैट आर प्रोकैरियोटिक सेल. वहीं पे ऑर्गेनिजम्स दैट हैव सच सेल्स आर कॉल्ड प्रोकैरियोट्स, दैट मींस प्रो प्रिमिटिव और कैरियन मींस न्यूक्लियर. एग्जांपल्स आर blue green algae and viruses. Cells that have a well defined nucleus and a nuclear membrane are called eukaryotic cells. और जिन सेल्स के अंदर न्यूक्लियर मेम्ब्रेन सही से डिफाइन होता है उसे हम यूकैरियोटिक सेल्स कहते हैं. ऑर्गेनिजम्स दैट हैव these cells are called eukaryotes, that means you means true and karyon means nucleus, means true nucleus. All organisms other than bacteria, blue green algae and viruses are called eukaryotes. So I hope you have understood all of these topics. So now let's wrapping it up. Let's see some points. The smallest living part of an organism is the cell. Cells were discovered by Robert Hooke in 1665 in Cork. In multicellular organisms, cells vary in size and shape. Next is some cells like hand sac can be seen with the naked eye, while some can be seen only under the microscope. Next point, some organisms like amoeba are single celled, whereas other contains large number of cells. The single cell of an unicellular organism is capable of performing all the basic functions that are found by a variety of cells in a multicellular organism. Now next point is the main parts of a cell are cell membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus. The plant cell in addition contains cell wall. Next is a cytoplasm is present inside the cell membrane. It contains many small bodies called organelles. The nucleus is separated from the cytoplasm by a nuclear membrane. The nucleus contains the genetic material. So now let's see some keywords. So the first keyword is cell organism. So now let's see the first keyword, that is cell organelles. The various microscopic structure present inside a cell are called cell organelles. Next is your cell membranes. A porous membrane that regulates the entry and exit of substances is called cell membrane. Next is the nucleus. Nucleus is the controlling unit of the cell which regulates and coordinates the activities of the cell and its organelles. Next is your nucleoplast. The protoplasm present in the nucleus is called nucleoplast. Next is your chromosomes. The thin fiber-like structure present in the nucleus which help in the transfer of characters from present to the next generation. Next is your chloroplast. The green pigment, the green plastic present in the plant cell which helps in the process of photosynthesis is called chloroplast. Next is your mitochondria. Mitochondria are termed as a powerhouse. This is so important of the cell as they provide energy for all activities of the cell. So that's all for this chapter. So I hope you have understood all of these keywords. So students, I will meet you in the next lecture with a new chapter. Till then, revise this chapter and keep learning. Thank you.